Hi folks, it's Darcy from the Purposeful Welcome back to Drycember. Today we're talking about temperatures and why they probably don't matter. Okay, if you're new to dehydrating, take a deep breath. Temperatures matter. Temperatures matter especially for proteins, for proofing yogurt and proofing breads. You want to keep them at the temperatures that are recommended for those things for safety and for the most successful product at the end. You don't want to do your yogurts too hot. You don't want to do them too low. There's a perfect temperature to keep them safe. The same for jerky. Safety is the issue. However, when it comes to fruit and vegetables, you've got some play, and I'm going to explain why. The National Center for Home Food Preservation has tested dehydrated products at certain temperatures so that you get the best, most efficient, and the safest drying time. Fruits are 135 F 57C. They are done at that temperature to get the most efficient drying time while still staying safe. So because fruits have more humidity, they need to be dried a little hotter to get them through so that you're not sitting there for 4 days, although most fruit do take a long time to dry. However, you can drop that temperature and it's just fine. Just know that it's going to take a little longer to dry. Over time, we found that doing citrus or strawberries, those are two of the big ones, if you dry them too hot, many of the varieties might actually start to turn a little brown because the sugars aren't browning. They are not burned. It's not ruined your fruit. It just changes the aesthetic of the fruit. So we've learned to drop the temperature down a little bit so that you can keep more of the natural color. It just takes a little longer to dry. With that, you also keep more of the nutrients because vitamin A and vitamin C tend to be lost faster the higher in heat you go. So if you drop the temperature down a little bit, you keep more of that vitamin concentration in your fruit. The same with vegetables. It's recommended at 125 F 52C. But for people who like to keep more of the nutrients or who might follow a raw food diet where they try to keep all the nutrients possible in their foods, you can actually drop it down to 95F, which I don't remember the conversion to C right now. Drop it down. It's fine. It's just going to take longer, but it's okay. So if you are one who likes to keep more of the nutrients in, just dry it slower, just slower and longer. Just know that's what's going to happen. Okay, the one caveat to this is that you don't want to dry too hot. There are tons of recommendations out there about how to dehydrate in the oven, and you can make snacks in the oven and stuff, but if you're looking at stocking your pantry with foods that are the most nutrient dense that you can get with dehydrating, if you're in your oven, you're going to be doing them a little too hot. And also, if you're doing them in a dehydrator and you're drying at 160, 165, you're losing a lot of nutrients and you run the risk of case hardening, which is where you dry something too hot so that the outside gets dry faster and forms this case where the moisture from the inside cannot get out, yet it might look like it's dry. So think about peas. Okay, peas is a classic example because it's an all encased object. Okay, there's no stem hole, there's nothing. So you've got this solid object. So if you dry them too hot, they can dry on the outside and start to shrivel and they look like they're dry. But in fact, on the inside, there may still be a segment of the meat of that pea that may not have been dried yet. So that moisture is still sitting in there. And even after you've conditioned it, it may still look like it's dry. And then you find out it molds on your shelf after it's been sitting on the shelf for 3 months because the moisture on the inside finally molds and comes out. So don't dry things too hot, even if you're in a hurry. If it's not drying as fast as you want, don't turn the heat up. Just be patient and let it dry a little longer. But keep those temperatures at the recommended or lower for everything except for proteins. And you're going to be good to go. Just know it may take a little longer. So if you've missed Drycember up to this point, check these videos out right here. Lower here, and then tomorrow's video is going to be right there for you to watch. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you tomorrow for another edition of Drycember.